have the Model 20 Marietta by Franklin-Christoph. This is a pen that we have designed with a little bit more of a vintage aesthetic. When Dan Simons and I sat down to design this, I wanted to make a really comfortable pen to hold and to use. So we got rid of the shelf here, the shoulder, and we got rid of any exterior threading. So of course that led us to make a slip cap pen. The essential challenge with a slip cap pen historically is that the pressure around the lip of the cap is such that it will tend to split and break the cap. In fact, that's why pen companies started putting the metal bands around here. They became decorative items later, but they actually served a function to distribute that pressure through the cap. We went in at it a different way. Dan Simons designed the interior of the cap because we have license to, without the threading in there, we have license to do the cap as we like on the interior. So we have pressure points here and here. That makes it very secure where it doesn't click or creak, and it also distributes the weight up in here and off the lip of the cap, so there's absolutely no pressure on the lip of the cap. We did this as well. We mimicked the angle with the back of the barrel, so it will post the same way. Also very stable, very firm. It's hard to pull it apart. The other issue that can be a challenge with slip caps is you create this suction. Well, it will pull the ink up here. So we did something in the interior of the cap that mitigates that suction so that you won't get little ink blobs and whatnot. It has traditional Franklin-Christoph cut engravings on the cap around the barrel. It says Franklin-Christoph 20. For this one, we chose the shorter clip to sort of keep the balance and the aesthetic of the pen. It's the same clip we've used on the Pocket 40, Model 22 ballpoint. We were able to, though this is a little bit smaller pen, we were able to use the larger number 6 nib. We slightly recessed it so that it would, we would be able to keep the smaller cap. Keeps it nice and balanced when you're writing. The size comparison, here's a large 66 model. You can see there, in the Model 02, a little bit bigger. This is sort of our medium-large pen, so this would be our medium-small pen. The Model 03, but here's a comparison of grip sections. You can see here we have the shelf, the block threads. It's still rather comfortable, but it's not perfect in the way that this one is. And it's the 03 actually has a thinner grip section, so this is not necessarily an oversized grip section, but it's a thick enough grip section that it gives you nice comfort when writing. Then we have the Model 19 here. You can see that's the big guy. And for those of you who have Pocket 40s, here we have a Pocket 40 and the Smoke and Ice. So it's a nice size pen. It's a very comfortable pen. Kudos to Dan Simons for his input in setting up this design, and it's probably my favorite of all the Franklin-Christoph designs to date. One extra thing we added here were the two cut bands here and here. This actually has a functional purpose. The finial breaks right there on the second line, but the first line looks just like the second line, so you can't really tell that that's a break. That allows us some flexibility with the finials to replace without having to resand or remachine. As far as filling, the traditional way with a disposable cartridge, a piston converter, or you can fill the entire barrel as an eyedropper, as it's a solid barrel. Once again, We have the Model 20 Marietta fountain pen by Franklin-Christoph. Just a note about uncapping your Model 20. We don't recommend that you pull apart like this with two hands. The pressure is such that you get a little bit of an uncontrolled motion. The strength of your fingers, you can note the ink that's perpetually on my fingers there, but the strength of your fingers allows you to easily open this while keeping everything held and under control. I usually place my fingers up here and open it this way. So that's just something that we would like to add to recommend to people. You can do it the same as you uncap it, unpost it on the back.